Shalom Aleichem. Yesterday we spoke about security, a time that the danger is not imminent, which means you have to perform patrols in times that are a little bit sensitive, like in our time. But the danger is not imminent. Today we'll learn about what happens if you have imminent danger, which means the Goyim are planning to, lo alenu, come and attack, or they're already on the way. What is the obligation? So, first of all, the pasuk from the Torah says, "Lo ta'amod al dam re'echa," which means even if you are not the one that's being attacked, it's somebody else, it's a different community, or even a single person, you must go and protect him. Lo ta'amod al dam re'echa. The Gemara in Sanhedrin Ayin Gimel says, "Minayin leroed chavero shetovea banahar." If you see a friend drowning in the ocean, or chaya gorarto, or you see an animal starting to attack him, or listim ba'im alav, you see thieves, thugs that are attacking him. Minayin shata chayav la'atzilo. You are obligated. It's a din Torah that you have to go and save him. That the Gemara learns from the pasuk lo ta'amod al dam re'echa. That is a simple halacha for a single person. What about, as we explained, that you have an enemy that's coming to towns, coming to the village, coming as they came on Simchat Torah? Is everybody obligated to go and help? You live on the other side of the country. It's not, you're not right now in imminent danger. Are you obligated to go and protect those people? So there is a halacha, very, very famous halacha in the Rambam. The Rambam speaks about the obligations of a king. En hamelech nilcham tchila ela milchemet mitzvah. When they conquered Eretz Yisrael, or on the way to conquering Eretz Yisrael, the conquering the land was called the milchemet mitzvah. There's two types of wars. One is milchemet reshut, one is milchemet mitzvah. You have also milchemet chova. It's the same idea. You are obligated to go. Milchemet reshut is not an obligation. What does it mean? Ezoi milchemet mitzvah. The Rambam explained, this is in Melachim Perek Hey, Zu milchemet zayin amamim. One example of the Rambam is the milchama against the 7 nations that were in Eretz Yisrael to conquer the land. Secondly is milchemet Amalek, killing and fighting Amalek. And thirdly, which is very, very relevant, Ezrat Yisrael miyat tsar haba alehem. If you have enemy that's attacking Am Yisrael or planning to come, that's called Ezrat Yisrael. You're going to support, you're going to help, you're going to assist Am Yisrael miyad tsar. It's very, very, it's a milchemet mitzvah. It's an obligation. This is again, it's a very known concept, milchemet mitzvah. What is it? Ezrat Yisrael miyad tsar. Remember those terms. Going and supporting and helping Am Yisrael, going to fight the war of Am Yisrael when they are being attacked by enemies. And therefore the Halakha in Shulchan Aruch says that you should go even if it is on Shabbat Kodesh. The Gemara says, it's Gemara in Eruvin, we learn straight the Halakha in Siman, Shin Kaftet, in Seif Vav, Odei Kochavim Shetzaru al Ayarot Yisrael. You have enemies that are doing a siege on place of Am Yisrael. In Ba'u al Eskei Mamon, if they only want money, they only want to steal, they only want to rob the village, En mechalelim aleim et Shabbat. You don't violate the Shabbat. Why not? Because there's no life danger, and for money you're not allowed to violate the Shabbat. Ba'u al eskei nefashot, says the Shulchan Aruch. If they came to kill people, they came to attack, they came to terrorize. Afilu stam yotzim aleim beklei zayin. Everybody must go with ammunition, with guns, whatever is needed. Back then it would be with swords, whatever is needed. Umechalelim aleim et Shabbat. You have to violate the Shabbat, and whatever is needed, you're allowed to do it. Not only allowed to do it, you're obligated. Now, ira smucha lasfar, if the city that they come to attack is on the border, like for instance, they come to attack those villages, those kibbutzim that they attacked on Simchat Torah, that was in the border. Afilu lo ba'u al eskei bar vekash, mechalelim aleim et Shabbat. Even if they only came to steal some straw for their cows, whatever it is, So we said before, you're not allowed to be Mechalel Shabbat on property, on money matters. But over here, you are obligated. Why? Because if they come into the border, then it can escalate to דיני נפשות. Says the Rama, אפילו לא באו עדיין, אלא רק רוצים לבוא. If you only hear that they're planning to come, you have intelligence that they're planning to come, you must do everything in your powers to go, even on Shabbat. Everybody have to recruit and come to protect the land. Even if they come again, על עסקי ממון, since it's on the border. Now the Shulchan Aruch says in the next סעיף זין, יש מי שאומר שבזמן הזה, today, אפילו באו על עסקי ממון מחללים. Even if they come on עסקי ממון, that we said before, you don't, even if it's not on the border. They come to steal, they come to rob, you have to be מחלל the Shabbat. שאם לא יניחנו ישראל לשלול ולבוז ממונו, יהרגנו והווה עסקי נפשות. Which means people usually, we learn this from, the Gemara learns that יורד במחתרת, that even a person just comes for money, since the owner of the house, the owner of the property would not allow to be robbed, he would stand against them. Once he would get against them, it becomes already nefashot. It becomes a life danger matter. And it is very, very important to go and do whatever is needed to protect that city. So we learned over here, Halakha and Shulchan Aruch, that on Shabbat, you do whatever is needed, Mechalel Shabbat, you take your klei neshek, your ammunition, your guns, whatever, your rifle, whatever is needed, and you go to protect the people. More than that, the Poskim bring down, this is brought down from the Or Zarua, he says that one is also allowed after the war is over to bring back his weapon. He doesn't leave the weapon obviously at the field, but rather he brings it back. That is the halakha. Okay, so we see from here that there must be a proactive from our people to make sure that if something is imminent, you hear they're coming to attack, you hear that something is going to happen soon, you can't wait for them to attack first. You have to go and do whatever is needed in order to protect yourself. And this is something that we found throughout the Poskim later on. They bring this idea over and over. Let's mention a couple of them. With the Rokeach in Siman Kuf Tzadik Vav was asked about a city called Vilmash. And in that city, on Shabbat Kodesh, they came to attack the Jews. They came to hurt the Jews. They came to kill the Jews. עלה עליה חיל גדול בשבת. They seized the city of Vilmash. He allowed, it says over there, the Rokeach, allowed to take your weapons and to go and do whatever is needed to protect yourself and bring back the weapons as well. Otherwise, he says, שאם לא כן יהרגו העירונים. Otherwise, if you're not going to help those people, those poor Jews that are being under siege, they will be killed. And therefore, since it's a danger, you must go and help them. The Trumat Adeshen has a question that's relevant to this. In Siman Shin Kaf Chet, the Trumat Adeshen brings down the following thing. He says that there was also a siege or enemy that comes to town, and Shimon asked Reuven to borrow his weapons to go fight. And he gave him. Reuven gave Shimon the weapons. And he went, and they had a fight, they had a war, and they lost. And the Goyim took away all their weapons, everything. Now, when he comes back home, does he need to pay Reuven for the things that were taken away from him? He borrowed it. He's a shomer. So does he need to pay? He paskins over there that he doesn't need to pay. Whatever it is, the point over here is that you see that the idea is that one must do everything that's needed at the time of attack, of terrorism, of war, whatever is needed in order to protect the tzibur, the klal. Second, another halakha is in the Levushe Mordechai. He brings down in Likutei Tshuvot, Siman Kuf Nun Vav, that if the oivim, the enemies, they're coming to kill, or even if they only come to rob, sometimes they only come to rob. Even if they only come to rob, you must do everything that's needed. Just like he says, he brings an example, just like it was in Galicia, that they had such a story that they came in and attacked the Jews. and they robbed them, and also apparently there was killing there as well. So he says over there, mitzvah v'chova latzet b'Shabbat. One must go on Shabbat Kodesh. One must do everything. It's mitzvah. It's two things here. Mitzvah v'chova. First of all, it's mitzvah, which means klapei shmaya. When you go, you're doing a mitzvah. You're actually performing a mitzvah. Don't think that you'll be able to sit in shul and pray and have a good meal and have your chulent on Shabbat, and that is the correct thing to do. No. There's a mitzvah that right now you have to do. What's the mitzvah? The mitzvah that we mentioned before, that lo ta'amod al dam re'echa. You're not allowed to say that I'm going to drink and eat, v'shalom yeli, everything's going to be good, I'm good, I live in a peaceful place, I'm not worried about what's going to happen. No, it's a mitzvah. And secondly, it's also a chovah, an obligation. One doesn't have a permission to stay behind and go. So this is what we found in many places in the Gemara, that there would be a machaneh. Machaneh means there would be a group of army. Doesn't have to be an army. It could be just armed men. Doesn't have to be an army. Just people that are, like yesterday we spoke about patrolling. It could be just a group of men that are there to protect the city, protect the country. And the Chazal were poter, they excused the machaneh, those group of armed people that going to protect. They exempt them from 4 different things. One of the things, for example, is netilat yadayim. Netilat yadayim is a very, very severe halacha. One has to do netilat yadayim before he eats bread. But when you go to such a thing, you're in a machaneh, you are patur from many of the things. So that's an important thing to remember. Says the Mishnah Berurah, what does it mean, afilu lo ba'u, even though the enemies didn't come yet? They didn't come yet. You just hear that they are planning to come. רוצה לומר, כשהכל יוצא, שרוצים לבוא, אף על פי שלא באו עדיין. Even though they didn't come yet. But there is such a rumor. You hear a rumor, which means even less than what we explained before, that you have intelligence, you know that they are planning to come. Now it's only a rumor. Rumor is enough that people need to do whatever is needed. מותר ללבוש כלי זין. You're allowed to wear, you're allowed to take with you the weapon. לשמור, לעשות קול בעיר, you're allowed to make noise, you're allowed to, whatever it is, sirens, whatever is needed. כדי שלא יבואו. Why? שאין מדקדקים בפיקוח נפש. This is over here the key. The key is אין מדקדקים בפיקוח נפש. When we're dealing with פיקוח נפש, when we're dealing with people's life, you're always lenient. On Shabbat, you're very lenient, which means you have a small safek, a small doubt that there might be a danger. You have to go out of your way to protect the people in anything that's needed to be done. So therefore, this is the halacha in Siman Shin Kaftet. That's the whole halacha over here is dealing with inyanei pikuach nefesh. The halacha starts, kol pikuach nefesh doche Shabbat. Every scenario of pikuach nefesh pushes away the Shabbat, overrides the Shabbat. And not only that, v'zariz harei ze meshubach. Those that go first, the zariz, the quick, to take the weapon or whatever is needed. Over here is not necessarily weapon, even saving people like Hatzalah. You have a story of somebody that has a safek pikuach nefesh, and even if it's a safek rachok of pikuach nefesh, it says over here, hazariz harei ze meshubach. Not only that you're obligated, not only that it's a mitzvah, it is hazariz harei ze meshubach. Those that go quick, those are praiseworthy. And therefore the halacha says over here, and olchim bepikuach nefesh achar harov. You don't look at, just like in all other halachot in the Torah, like in Isurim, and other things, you follow majority. Olchim achar harov. When it comes to pikuach nefesh, afilu miut, afilu safek, ואפילו ספק ספקה, ואפילו תרבה בו ספקות תרבה, which means if you have many doubts that there is a danger, you have, for example, the halacha over here speaks about a house that fell down. You have rubble, and you don't know if there's somebody there. You don't know if there's nobody there. It's called a safek. Safek if somebody's there. Safek if maybe he's not there. Maybe there is someone there, but he's already dead. There's many sfekot that could be added on over here. The Gemara adds different sfekot, and the Gemara says in all the scenarios, even with all those sfekot, the halacha is that safek nefashot leakel. You do whatever is needed. So therefore, you mechalel the Shabbat and do everything that's needed. But the chidush that we're saying today is that there is an obligation even to go and protect others, protect from enemy that might come to town. And yesterday again we spoke about danger that's not imminent. Today that you have rumors that something's going to happen very, very soon. Everything that's needed to be done should have been done. For example, that's one of the things that Golda was wrong in Milchemet Yom Kippurim. She didn't do it because it was Yom Kippur, but people were not ready. Am Yisrael was not ready. People were in shuls with their talit, fasting, and there was intelligence that the war is starting very, very soon. She didn't take that very serious. Afterwards, they made a whole inquiry with her. It's really like a very, very painful story, but that will be an example of what needs to be done or what's not allowed to be done when you have some rumors, or definitely if you have intelligence that something comes close.